Yo, yo, what's the deal? JoeCarrUSA. We back with another video. Man, this gonna be a blackout video, man, cause I'm here and I just honestly don't feel like getting up, man. I really don't. So plus, yeah, I got a damn. I don't want y'all. I don't want y'all to see me like this, man. It's laid back. So, yeah, man. Inside the NBA is already. Matter of fact, I might have to step outside. At least it might still be dark. I might have to hit up the back porch real quick. So, yeah, man. And see, I ain't want to be up here looking all crazy, man. I'm up here with a robe on, looking all crazy. So yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Inside the NBA is already better than anything that ESPN have been putting out or has been putting out as far as the basketball or NBA coverage. And to be honest with you, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's something. That's obviously something. Man, my dog been up my ass all day, man. All day. She needed some food earlier. And I was taking her for a walk every day. And I kind of had stopped. So she just been up my ass all day, man. But yeah, man, inside the NBA is just better than anything that ESPN has been putting out there, man. Like, I don't know what it is, man, because it's kind of, it's kind of a mix. They got the suits on, they got Ernie in there, but it's still kind of like, barbershop talk amongst, legitimate guys, for the most part. Shaq is, of course, he's not the greatest player of all time, but, he's respected. Some people like him, like his game. Some people don't. He's respected as one of the greatest big men of all time. Charles Barkley, obviously one of the best players to never win a ring. He's in that category. And then you got Kenny Smith, who's, I guess he's pretty popular. He has the parties and stuff going on. And, he stepped up in the finals and did his thing. And then you got Ernie, who is a respected host. He's become a little more comfortable, as he's gotten older and more comfortable with the crew. He kind of gives his opinion a little bit more as a moderator nowadays too. But yeah, it's just better, man, than anything that I've seen. And the reason why I say I don't know why is because ESPN has some, they've had some decent guys. Jalen Rose was decent, and he's obviously, he obviously was a good player in the league. I think they've had, they had cats like Wilbon, which, Wilbon was always, of course, better in the PTI show or stage. I mean, obviously you got Stephen A. I mean, that might be your main problem. Just to be perfectly honest. I mean, Stephen A. is kind of like, I mean, he's obviously good on the morning show, and, he came up with Skip and all that with the debate. The two-man debate show was, I guess, his format. So obviously, Stephen A. is good with that and sensationalizing and, talking loud and making headlines, saying crazy stuff. That's Stephen A. lane. But I'm talking about when it come down to just real straight up barbershop basketball talk, you first of all, you got to have some type of legitimacy. If you're talking NBA, obviously, if you're one of the best NBA players ever, like Shaq and Barkley, which Shaq hasn't always been there either now. And then, and to be honest with you, I don't think it is as good when it's like D Wade up there and Candace Parker, even though I do like her up there, but I'm just saying it's not as good as when it's like Charles, Ernie, and Kenny. Then they added Shaq. They finally added Shaq. I think Chris Webber was okay, but obviously, like I said, not as good. Draymond, I don't know, whatever, not as good. Who else inside the NBA be having up there, man? I can't remember. I might be getting it mixed up with NBA TV now when I say like Jamal Crawford, and I don't think Isaiah Thomas was ever up there, but yeah, I really just think it's definitely, when you got Barkley and Shaq, it's definitely a good show. But yeah, ESPN, I don't know, man. Then you got the lighting, it's got the dimmer lighting. Also time. Time is a major factor too. ESPN's halftimes and pre-games always seemed rushed. They always go into commercial break. I think Bill Simmons, man, look, Bill Simmons, he helped me get through my bed, man, listening to his podcast. So I give it up to Bill Simmons and what's the other guy's name? Brusillo. What the hell is his co-host name? Bill Simmons co-host. I listened to their show the whole time I was locked up. But then I heard Bill Simmons starting to say all type of ridiculous things, and then he's like, "Oh, Dr. J's the only guy that could dunk back in the day." Like, so I'm like, "You supposed to be a basketball historian." And even Dr. J had to check him like, well, it wasn't me just dunking back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Bill Simmons has stated that, he felt like he didn't really have enough time to talk about basketball and make his points when he was on ESPN. And I could see that. Sometimes the anchor will literally say it like 30 seconds, Will Bond go. 30 seconds, Stephen A. go. And it's like, come on, I gotta break down and talk about the whole landscape of the NBA in 30 seconds or recap what I see in the game in 30 seconds. I mean, here, we get on YouTube and try to make quick videos, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on. Y'all hear me when I jumped on the video. I'm talking about my dog, stuff going on around me. It's like, you want to be relaxed. You want to be able to talk and get your point across, and I just noticed that watching Inside the NBA, they have time to get their point across and say what they got to say. Let their mind wander off into other things, come back to the point. They're not necessarily rambling, but it's like you need time to articulate your point and say what you need to say, while you trying to do your thing. It's like if somebody literally tell you got 30 seconds, it's like, okay, I just want to say one line and be quiet. And Bill Simmons was like, man, I used to tell dudes, just take my time, because 30 seconds not enough time for me. Why am I here type deal. So yeah, I don't know I'm trying to think back to NBA on NBC, how it used to be back in the day. I was so young though when NBA was still on NBC that I really can't remember how the shows used to go. I definitely remember, because I was born in 87. I remember watching Jordan cry in the locker room. But then I remember I used to like Rasheed Wallace and the Blazers back then. I remember watching Ahmad Rashad. I know I'm jumping back and forth in timelines, but I remember watching Ahmad Rashad before basketball came on, but I really can't remember the analysts. I'm trying to think, did they get Dunleavy because after Dunleavy was coaching the Blazers, we got Mo Cheeks. And I think I remember Dunleavy doing some analyst work on NBC. I'm not sure. But yeah, long story short, or just to make a point here, yeah, man, Inside the NBA is already better than you know, the NBA covers that, especially, man, Malika Andrews and all that, man, ain't nobody. And it's nothing sexist. It's nothing against women. Because I messed with Andrea Carter, who I actually found out was like a distant cousin of mine. She's like my cousin's cousin. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting a phone call. He probably want to talk a little basketball himself. But yeah, Andrea Carter is really good. I like Ellie Duncan as a host. Malika Andrews is all right. You know what I'm saying? But Ogumbuke is cool. So it's not a sexist thing. It's just with Malika Andrews and what's the redhead chick, you know, the jump. And what's her name? Rachel Meta? No, that's the girl off NBA, MSNBC. No, I'm don't quote me on that. What's the redhead chick name, man? Whatever her name is. The one who said, "Don't make your diversity higher on my watch." And yeah, all them, it just ain't, you know, it's just not Ernie, Shaq, Charles at that inside the NBA desk having time to get your point across. The dim lighting makes you more comfortable. Yeah, I don't know. ESPN need to take notes because they're obviously getting older. Chuck slimming down, getting older. You know, Shaq is obviously, he's not like super old. But Ernie's getting older. Kenny's getting older, but he doesn't seem like he's that old. You know, he got the whole hair thing going on now, but yeah, eventually they're gonna have to pass the torch. So I don't know if they just gonna keep that show intact and cut and paste parts, but yeah, Inside the NBA, man, hats off, great show. I know you get a lot of energy from talking about things that you don't like on YouTube. You know, I just did the Kevin Durant thing and all that, but hats off to Inside the NBA for taking this show to ESPN, continuing putting money in those guys' pockets and basically showing everybody how it's done, man. Like I said, but it's still hats off to like Jalen Rose. It's like individuals were good on ESPN, but it's kind of like it's almost like a WWF and WCW type thing. Like the individual wrestlers are good in WWF, but the groups were better in WCW. You know, or the whole card was better on WCW, but like the superstars were more superstar-ish on WWF, if that makes sense. Like, you know, the individuals are good on ESPN, like individually, but as a team or as a whole show, you know, it just never comes together. Like, Will Bond's better on PTI, not on the NBA show. Stephen A's better like by himself or arguing with Skip, not on like the show as a panel or whoever with everybody else. You know, certain people, even with like unsportsmanlike, some people off of unsportsmanlike, they try to go on other shows and, you know, the chemistry is just not there for some reason. But with Inside the NBA, and even when well, maybe not Shaq, I like Charles Barkley when he goes on pretty much any show. I feel like Ernie is good at hosting like any sports, like baseball. I think he do like baseball, golf, or some shit, or tennis, whatever he does besides NBA. Kenny, I never really seen another arena. Shaq says some weird ass outlandish shit when he go on other shows, but so it's good that he have other legitimate guys to check him and keep him intact, because he be saying some weird shit when he go on other shows. Oh, I could have won with somebody else, with T-Mac and all this dumb shit he be saying, but whatever. So yeah, man, hats off to Inside the NBA. Like I said, I think it's just better than anything ESPN's putting out. What's that show that they got on ESPN that come on at like 3? The one that Malika hosts. You know, I mean, I you know, it's just something missing or something just too much. It's just not like Inside the NBA, man. So with that being said, man, just I'm gonna catch up with y'all in the next video. Peace.